It's the bottom of the ninth inning. Or maybe it's the fourth quarter. Wait, no, I think that it's a knockout round. Look, I may not know what sport is being played, but clearly the fans in the stadium are having a good time. That's the premise of the rhythm game Waver, a typing adventure. A bizarre new release that combines the best elements of Rock Band and Guitar Hero with the fun of being at a sports stadium. It's a game that has somehow turned both typing and the wave into a high-stakes competition of speed and accuracy. That's a simple concept, but will it improve your typing skills? Yeah, I'll be the referee of that. I want to take you back to January 4th, 1981, when my home team, the Defunct Losers, seemed poised to win the World Championship Series Prix Cup. With a packed stadium full of spirited fans cheering on their team, you could almost taste the excitement in the air. But while the underdogs showed up and put up a good fight, they were ultimately let down by their fans, who simply didn't cheer hard enough. They lost in a crushing defeat that people still talk about to this day. Now, 4 decades later, my hometown team has a chance to make up for their past defeat. This is their opportunity to prove the world wrong and finally become the undisputed world champs. Now let me tell you, the diehard fans of the Defunct Losers aren't gonna let history repeat itself, because they're gonna get out there and they're gonna cheer harder than they've ever cheered before. And just in case that isn't enough, they've perfected a new skill that is guaranteed to make all the difference. That's right, the fans have learned how to do the wave. Look, the premise may sound iffy, but hear me out. The goal of each level is to successfully do the wave by hitting the corresponding letters at the right time. The camera is always fixated on the audience, which is represented by the 26 letters of the alphabet. With each rotation of the wave, the game wants you to press the button to make the right person stand up and cheer. It starts out simple enough, with the players only needing to hit 1 or maybe 2 letters with each rotation. But as you saw with our fateful game against the Limway Yoke 40 years ago, the responsibility of hitting the right button can quickly become overwhelming. As silly as it sounds, it actually makes sense. The scoreboard will keep track of you correctly performing the wave, while the opponents will score every time you miss one of the right letters. Then as the story progresses, you'll begin to see that the sport being played on the field is almost inconsequential. Clearly, the real action is in the stadium, where the fans are racking up big points with combos and score multipliers. Earn enough points and you'll unlock stars, not unlike what we've seen in the countless rhythm games that inspired Waver. What I like about this admittedly simple concept is how much the game shakes things up from level to level. First-time developer Buried Things does a good job of layering new ideas on the core conceit right up to the final stage. For example, the wave will go in the opposite direction when the team goes overseas. There's also a stage where the opposing fans have infiltrated the cheering section, something that can really mess up with your timing. Perhaps my favorite of these shakeups is when a bunch of random fans have either been abducted or raptured, leaving a whole lot of empty seats in the crowd. That's the kind of thing that helps to keep the game fresh as you make your way through the short but satisfying story mode. Now, as both a fan of typing games and Rock Band, I dig the retro graphics, the upbeat music, and all the ways the game shakes up the gameplay. And yet, despite seeming to be everything that I would want, I had a hard time getting into Waver. There was just something about the timing that didn't click with me, even after playing all the levels multiple times. It's often hard to tell exactly when you're supposed to press the button, and I found myself missing a lot of letters that I was certain that I hit. And then there are the levels that want you to hit 10 or more letters in a single rotation. The game wants you to have either super speed or 20 fingers in order to complete the wave, something that only gets more frustrating in the final stages where they throw absolutely everything at the player. Let me tell you, as somebody who's been a professional writer for more than 20 years, I would like to think that I'm a speedy typist. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people faster than me, but I think it's fair to say that I definitely know my way around the keyboard. And yet, I was completely humbled by Waver. It's one thing to type a word quickly, and quite another to need to hit 3 or more letters at the same time, almost as if you're playing a musical instrument. I hate to make the obvious point here, but just because it's called a keyboard doesn't mean that my Microsoft Ergonomic 4000 is the same as a Casio CTX 700. There's a reason why I only had 5 buttons in Guitar Hero. For those who are able to overcome the steep difficulty curve, they'll find a fun and silly rhythm game with a lot of cool ideas. I like that you'll definitely need to work at each stage in order to earn 3 or more stars. And there are some real fun goodies to unlock for those who put in the extra work. Couple that with the charming graphics and catchy tunes, and you have a goofy experience that takes both typing games and the rhythm genre in a whole new direction. Who knew that cheering on my home team would involve this much typing? Waver, a typing adventure, is a fun but flawed game that combines the best elements of Rock Band and Guitar Hero with the fun of being at a sports stadium. It has a great throwback look and a cool premise that turns cheering on your favorite team into a competitive sport. That said, Hunt and Peck typists need not apply, as this is a challenging game that'll have you using all 26 letters of the alphabet in order to win the World Championship Series Prix Cup. The harsh difficulty spike will keep most people away, but I suspect that the silly premise and slick presentation will be enough to turn Waver into a cult classic. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now, here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite rhythm game? Also, what is your favorite typing game? That's right, it's 2 questions in 1. Yeah, I'm tricky that way. Let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back shortly with a review of the excellent Glyph. Also, I'm finally going to tell my AEW story on Sunday. Trust me, it's a Kafka-esque roller coaster of a ride. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,